and this is my Economics 130 course that I'm teaching in the summertime, and I'm doing this recording for the top program and anyone who wants to see this. Let's first start with my overview page that we all have in the top program. I designed this thing here, this overview page that's with all my microeconomics courses that I did in top back in summer of 2019, and I like the design very much, and that's what I use for all my micro courses. So here's the basic information. Here is the information about the course, required materials, and how to get started. Okay, so now we're on the, click on the orientation page. So this is a pretty standard form that we all have. I love this feature of welcoming each individual student with the double carets. I have a checklist. I made up a video of how to navigate this course. And then for all of my online courses, I have a section, and I'll talk a little bit about this in a bit, about marking up a PDF document. And so I made a video about this over here. I have all the essential information for completing the SOL module, important Laulima information, navigating Laulima, and technology and netiquette tips. I have done this in accordion view so that it doesn't take up as much of the page. Now, interesting thing about the SOL certificate of completion is that the students do it and they send in the certificate to me. And I say that's nice, but it's not actually required, but I encourage them to do it anyway. I also have a couple of videos that I did here at Windward Community College, a video of myself, and then the difference between macro and microeconomics. Now let's view this as a student. There we go. So that's the orientation, and here's the syllabus right here. And then something that I came up with, and with the help of our person here at Windward Community College, an online calendar. This is a Google Calendar, and I put in all the essential information, all the due dates and such with this particular course in this calendar. And I just use the same embedded calendar, and then I just import dates in from iCal and give students and then just change the date and everything. So this works out very, very well, and I keep the same colors whether it's online or face-to-face. Okay, let's go to week 1 here. Now this is a summer course, and what I did with the help of some folks at CELT was to imagine my regular course and then how would I deliver it as a summer course. So I kind of deconstructed it a little bit. Whereas I would have a checklist for each week and each chapter in a regular course, what I did was I did a checklist for the entire week 1, and then I made my chapters into subpages. And so I took out, there we go, I took out the checklist that normally would be over here, and then focused strictly on the chapter and then any videos I would have with it. And these are 2 videos that I made for this particular chapter. And this is chapter 1. And then I have chapter 2. I always like to have some kind of an image associating the students with the chapter, kind of an introduction to that. Here's a discussion, here are the objectives, and here are videos. Oftentimes I'll add in videos from other sources that I will like and I'll reference to for students to do and complete. And here we go back into week 1. Now we have a checklist for week 1 right here. This is everything that students need to do. And then associated with this checklist, I have the various activities that they need to do. Now on the checklist, I'll have the due dates. I'll have the due date and time, but associated with that is going to be this week and May 25th through May 30th. They can see the actual date if they look at the calendar. So, for example, reading check 1 is due on May 28th, which happens to be a Thursday of week 1. And then quiz 1 is due 11 p.m. on Saturday, May 30th, and 11 p.m. on the reading check 1. The second part is due on 11 p.m. on Saturday. Okay, going back to week 1. So I have these things called reading checks. The first one is students introducing themselves to each other and to the class. They have to do 1 introduction and then 2 responses. For this, and then the actual reading check for the first 2 chapters is right here. And again, it's 1 response and it's 1 posting and then 2 responses. And they have done quite a bit here. Now, another thing that I add, we can go back to week 1 here. I want my students to practice the skills that they are learning in the textbook. In a regular face-to-face class, I would have them work on practice questions in groups in a physical handout. But in this case, since it's online, I use a PDF and I scanned in that thing. And here's the PDF that they'll be working on their own. Now, in order to turn this into me, and they turn it in to me with their reading check, what I have them do is to mark up the PDF. So if you can so I'll show you. Let's see with our, this is reading check 0. I don't want this. I want reading check 1. There we go. And when students turn in the practice questions, they turn it in marked up. And that's why in the orientation page, I have a video on how to mark up a PDF. And it turns out that there's lots of different ways to do that and mark it up. So I've been very pleased with how students have responded to that. And this gives them a chance to practice the skills that they're learning and to do some application. And this also goes in line with my regular courses, my face-to-face courses. So the two courses, face-to-face and online, are kind of moving in sync with each other. So I very, very much like that. Okay, let's see what else. Oh yeah. So something I'm experimenting with and it's worked out pretty well is using Flipgrid. So I'm offering that as extra credit, and already 10 students have responded to me in Flipgrid, and I did the first one, and it's my Joker face there, and I like this Flipgrid quite a bit because I get to see visually and hear them, and then sometimes they'll ask me a question and I can respond to them in Flipgrid as well. So this is going to be a part of my online courses. Let's see what else I can show. I do. Let's see. Let's go back to here. I have quizzes for them every week. And the way I do these quizzes is off of tests and quizzes. Now let's go out of student view. And I use question pools. And these pools have a number of questions on them, and I'll make subpools of them, and I'll just randomly draw out questions from that, so that there's no way that they can be doing the same quiz and all that, and I'll give them two chances to do that. So I'm pretty happy and pleased with that. It took a long time to set these things up because I have to put in different graphs and everything like that. So learning about using images and resources and making a reference to that on the question is time consuming as all get out, but I'm really happy with the result. Let's see. I have them do a paper, and this is going to be in the 5th week, and so this is a lesson page that talks about the article analysis paper. I did a review of that, kind of a screenshot, much like I'm doing right now, and then I have everything that they need for the paper, and then all they need to do is click on here to turn in the paper itself. Of course, they can either do it here in the text box, or of course they can use a Microsoft Word and or Google Docs and such like that. And I tell them all that in the video itself. Let's see what else we've got here. I think that's it. I've made yeah. Oh, yeah. Right. When after students turn in an assignment, I will send an announcement to them. They turn in the responses on Saturdays, so I'll turn in the announcement on Sundays, and just going over the basics of what they've done, some words of wisdom, and especially since the summer is big COVID time, I'll make some references to the COVID time and how that applies to economics. And virtually every chapter in economics applies to COVID-19, whether it's micro or macroeconomics. Okay, I think that is it. I really appreciate the top program and and just being able to use lesson pages, because I'm able to integrate and link up all of the different assignments so that they see it all in one place, and it just makes things much easier for me. Also on the forums, I make use of having to respond before you can see the other person's posts, and that makes my students' responses much richer and much more creative than if that didn't exist. Okay, that finishes things up. Thank you for listening, and I'll be doing a couple of more of these for my other courses. My regular course online, that's in the regular semester, as well as environmental economics. Okay, bye bye.